Tom White joins me now for our final trade of the day, and we have to take a look at Apple. What do you think here? What do you do with this trade?
Yeah, the product launch was a success this week, and they've got 2 new phones. They've got the new Apple TV and the new watch, where you actually don't need your phone near you, which I think is a game changer there. Fitbit and Garmin, some of the other names that have those wearables. The key thing is going to be the iPhone. The release dates got pushed back a little bit, September 22nd for the iPhone 8. Not until November 3rd for the $1,000 priced Model X that I think is going to be the big revenue generator for them. But what we've seen over the last couple quarters from Apple is that they're still beating on iPhone sales, even though everybody knew that the super cycle was coming out. So stocks down, pulled back a little bit on the news, but I expect the shares to kind of bounce off that $158, $159 share level and go back to all-time highs, which are just above 164. So I think it's a great release. Everybody's going to probably want these phones going into the holiday season.
Including you?
Oh, of course. I don't know if I'm going to wait for that Model 10, but I'll probably get one of them. I don't know if I can wait until November 3rd. But that's also going to push a bunch of revenue back into that fourth quarter instead of the third. And that might be a concern, and that might be why the stock pulled back a little bit.
Are you a buyer?
Yeah, definitely a buyer of Apple, anywhere under that $160 a share level, just for the fact that you know that the revenue is probably going to be a little bit better, margins are going to be better on this phone, and it's a super cycle.
The hurricane is still having an effect on the market. Names like McDonald's and Disney have been moving. Let's talk about McDonald's first.
Yeah, McDonald's got hit earlier this week on a report that Q3 sales are going to be lower than expected. And this is probably the first set of bad news that we've seen out of McDonald's. They've taken market share. I'm not a big fan of McDonald's, but the shares and the CEO, what they're doing in the management side of it is really a game changer. But at the same time, with all these storms that happened in Texas and Florida, I want to see what the fallout is, because you couldn't stay home and cook a meal. So will sales pick up in
That's an interesting
that
point.
Q3 and Q4? And maybe this report's a little ahead of itself that kind of downgraded those sales estimates. So that's what I'm going to kind of be looking for going forward. But I mean, the stock was at all-time highs. It had been on a big, huge tear this year already. So pullback's not a bad idea if you wanted to get long that particular stock. And there might be a little bit more weakness as they kind of get some more clarity on those sales estimates going into this quarter.
Now, Disney shut down during Irma, which is highly unusual. And also this delay in the release of Star Wars, would that affect the stock, do you think?
I think it already has. I mean, we've got hit over the last year just from ESPN numbers. Stock kind of finally broke through that $100 share level, which is a key level of support. But at the same time, Hurricane Irma was not as powerful as they expected. So they didn't have to close the theme park for as long as they did. It's already reopened. I think it reopened on Wednesday. So one of the key things you're going to have to look in there is if they can stop that bleeding from ESPN growth. But they are going to lose money. It's going to take a hit on their quarter, but I think the stock's already kind of reflecting that. The shares pulled back down to that $97 share level, and I think that's a good base on a technical level. But we're going to have to see some more of those sales numbers. Just like any of the other numbers that are coming out after these storms, you're really going to have to pay attention to these Q3 numbers and just see if it's a one-off effect or if it's going to drain into that Q4 and early 2018.
Are you a buyer of Disney?
Buyer of Disney under that $98 share level. I was. We sold a put spread in there using options, which is a bullish trade, and I do like Disney for the near term. Get back to that $100 share level, and then we'll see some numbers out of that Q3.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
It's great to be back.